Howdy, gang. No bad Dragon Man. Bit late on this one. I was trying to fix the error that I was getting last time, and, I don't think I did it. And it's very clearly an issue with DirectX, but the thing is, Windows doesn't want to just let you reinstall DirectX easily. So, after finding the proper installer eventually, it just told me that there was nothing wrong. Which, I guess that's the case, and nothing else is giving me an issue. It's just this game. It looks right here, yeah. Cool. So, I don't know. Whatever. We'll just deal with it. Hope we don't die. What else have I got? Yeah. Like the last 4 days, maybe, I wanted to attempt a stream, and I never did.
Indeed.
Because I got into the bad habit of taking naps, and, yeah, I fucking hate it. Plan for today was go to Orzammar, because I want to unlock a prestige class, but, while we're still in Denram, which I believe we are, I keep forgetting to take care of Alistair's, quest for the sister, so we're gonna do that. This is also be a good time to get her stuff set up for random encounters,
Warden.
I have a feeling we're gonna run into that stupid one again. Cool. I don't know how you initiate it. I think you might just have to talk to him while you're in Denram.
Something on your mind?
Duh.
Unless they were asking me for a favor. Well, there was that one time in Denerim, but those women were not like you. Why? Is this your way of telling me you think I'm handsome?
You fucking know it.
Maybe. It doesn't hurt to have a pretty girl say that, though. Beats being run through with a sword any day. So, is this the part where I get to say the same?
Yeah, that'd be nice, you fucking jerk.
Oh, well, I'll think about it then. Sometime soon, I'm sure.
Oh, fuck you.
At your service.
Sister?
Well, we're not exactly alone. What did you have in mind?
Whoa.
Fair enough.
That'd be awkward. I feel like we haven't flirted nearly enough. Like, you know what? We need to end this now. Whatever this is. Can you please stop stalking me? I know you're in charge of laundry, but that doesn't give you the right to smell my underwear. Where the hell am I going? I could probably just find it on the map or something, right? Deserted building, aka Crash City, Alienage. You know what? Alistair's sister might live in the Alienage, or it might not be available until then, because, she's poor. Alienage is for poor people. And elves. But, yeah. Whatever, we'll just go to the mountains. Mountain Man. And maybe should have brought Shale. I want to have Alistair, because I think that he's, like, coming into his prime, being useful. Hey, I knew we were gonna run to this encounter. He's ready to die. Shit. Okay, so I want, like, everybody to demolish these dudes real quick.
There's blood.
Got something to work on. Morgan's gonna die, whatever. He knew it was gonna happen. He didn't stand a chance. Never did. Alistair's got a hex of no heal. Guess he's gonna die too. Yep. You know how that should go. Level up. It's probably on dog, right? Points. Strength. And Constitution. Hell yeah. Constitution reminds me of taking a fat shit. It's definitely not because it sounds kind of like constipation. I just feel like someone with a high constitution stat would have a really big poop.
Dark spot.
Okay. We're gonna go for the same thing, but you know, maybe Alistair will actually pick a decent target this time. Oh, thank God. Past that. Alistair got the prison. Cold? Oh shit, he dodged it, he juked. Dog, you go help. Go save the day. Go fucking head bash him in the dick. I wonder if he still has a dick. Looks like it.
Armed and dangerous, ready for action.
Damn. Ah shit, that's a double stun. Go fuck him up. Alistair's down. Morgan should heal.
I am wounded.
Hold on. Let's shatter him real quick.
Right.
Oh no, I got shot in the foot. Oh! Yeah, okay, never mind. Said wham.
Easy enough.
Oh! 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 We're gonna beat that encounter. I feel like we can do it.
Let's get started.
I know it's set in stone. So that's what our next 20 minutes are gonna be. Yeah, I don't think I used Fireball that time. That'll probably be useful. Oh yeah, I did. That was actually a very solid start. Things just got fucked up when Alistair fucked up. Hey, old Tegrin, I love to see you. Glad you could keep us from wasting 20 minutes. Sweet, Frostback Mountains. Like a pair of ribs with the frosting on it. Is it good? I don't know, maybe. I mean, barbecue sauce is supposed to be sweet, right? So surely icing would work, right? Be like a Cinnabon, some hot icing. Bounty hunter.
Right.
I mean, I'm actually worth something. I'm honored. What the fuck is happening there? Dizzy stars? Oh shit. Nice chain lightning, so OP. Why don't I have it yet? Speaking of which, I finally remembered to use the book just now. Haha. Oh, should I get chain lightning? I feel like this is probably way too dangerous to ever use. Enemies take more fire damage while they burn. That's cool. It's the next little spell. What kind of bullshit the enemies are using at the beginning of the freaking game then. Crushing prison's busted. Look, the spider form has been useful sometimes. And the bear shape, I don't know what it does, but I don't know, I just really don't like shape-shifting because it cuts you off from using all the other spells, which is like literally this character's whole tree. They don't have very many passives. Right, she just casts down whoever the fuck, right? Vulnerability hex. Enemy, my target. Cluster mirrors visible. Man, I don't know. I just go with like highest rank or something. Is that even an option? The leader higher. Use X. Okay.
As you wish.
PogChamp. Alright, these guys are gonna attack on sight, so we're gonna save scum. Get near to the epic spin move. Ah shit, fucked up. We made it though, don't worry. Alright, shattered. You ready to get cut in half, little bitch? Ah shit, it didn't do as much damage as I thought. Remember that I want to start investing in cunning. I'm gonna try and do that. Because it improves your critical damage, so it'll make this attack a lot stronger, even if strength would do the same thing, technically. I need it for coercion at the very least, though. Not that I really use that either. We've had a pretty good run of luck with intimidation. Shady thug. Thomas the deserter. Hey, I got a message for you, you son of a bitch.
You have some kind of problem?
Go back to Skyrim, you bastard.
No. What is this about?
You deserted. You deserted your people, the Nords.
I worried this might happen. I hoped it wouldn't be you who came for me. I have no choice. Forgive me, Warden, but I cannot go back with you.
Skyrim belongs to the Nords. Oh, that's a waste. It's a nice shot though. Me and the dog are in like the same pose. I knocked him up so he could go back down. I got annihilated. That's to Morgan. Oh, it's literally a better version of that. Now, sometimes we melt, and sometimes the other guys get melted. And sometimes just changing your tactics swaps which of those happens. Interesting. I know that's the mod's work, and that's kind of exactly what it set out to do, but weird how finicky it is. I don't feel like I'm in control of it a lot of the time. These nugs. So shiny, but like not evenly cooked. Foreign. That's the name.
Can I interest you in something? I've got the finest selection of previously owned armour and weaponry this side of Val Royeaux.
Loyals. Previously owned?
Why pay through the nose for new equipment when you can buy it like new for much, much less?
It's true. Like new, you can have a story attached to it. You can't have a legendary piece of equipment with no legend. Right? The fucking Master Sword is used. Excalibur was used. Fucking Soul Calibur was used.
Oh, here and there. Look, that's really not important. The important thing is, it's cheap. And just as good as what you'd find at a smithy. Oh, of course. And remember, everything's covered by Farron's 24-hour lifetime guarantee.
24-hour lifetime. A spell grenade. And it's basically what Alistair has, but this thing hasn't been super useful. I swear it's not working as it should. I feel like rash finds are from Awakening. Pretty sure a lot of what this guy has comes from like who died in Deep Roads. I'll buy that. Can't go wrong with a Silverite rune. Not bad belt. Throwback harness. Four attack, 4 armor. Even better. Pretty sure I have a really good collar on him already, though, right? 4 armor penetration, 8 armor. Yeah, That's way better. It's weird that you got it in the freaking mage tower. How would they have a dog in a tower? How are you supposed to take it out in time for it to not shit on the floor?
Looks like the fighting has finally started. Too much to hope they work it out.
What can I do for you?
I have a note.
This ought to be interesting. Such diction. This man is a true scholar and rhetorician. I am honored to be fired by one such as he. Good day.
I hear Ban Bronak.
Okay, kiss ass.
Of course he did. Tell him no.
So tell me, was the Tower of Magi everything you thought it would be?
Abominations running rampant? Templars ready to slaughter every mage in sight? Yes, it rather met all my expectations.
You don't think you might have been better off getting your training there, instead of whatever your mother taught you?
You're right. My mother didn't nearly have as many abominations running about. That certainly would have improved my education.
I'll give you that one.
I'm so relieved.
Oh, you wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well-armed to notice a lowly merchant.
Why don't you just have your freaking money sitting out on the desk? Like, this is gold. This is the most valuable currency you got. That's like $1,000 there at least. Where's your strong box at, bruh?
Someone has to. Trade with other races can dry up. We surfacers are Orzammar's lifeline. Even if we're denied a caste, the Assembly says we've turned our back on the stone, but they still use the goods we bring. Hypocrites.
That's not right. Someone should do something.
Maybe it'll change by the time my children are grown.
What is going on with this statue back here? Are you, like, testing anti-rust? That way only the shoulders are blue?
Twice a year. I'm confined to a trade stall in the Commons, but I see enough. It's very closed in. My grandfather says I've lost my stone sense. I was born topside. I don't remember having it.
Oh, alright.
Best of luck to you.
Born topside, are you even a dwarf? Didn't think so. You're just a small human. I wonder why that issue is never addressed. Obviously, people are still different heights, but dwarves are an entirely different race. They're not human. But surely small humans exist.
King Loghain will not suffer the delay of his appointment.
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
I think the wiper is actually a pretty prestigious position. Though it's obviously a very low-sounding job. I guess the idea is that the king trusts you to wipe his ass for him. Like, you'd see him with his fucking pants down in his most vulnerable state. Yeah, I need to get into your town. Like, I'm on the list.
None more important than mine.
Nah,
Your business will wait. Orzammar must limit outside influence until the throne is settled. No one gets in.
But I'm on the list.
They hide because they are dwarves.
I would challenge any race to fare as well. Our king is dead. Endroni Dukan returned to the Stone Knot 3 weeks ago. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
Welp, I've got paperwork.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
What?
That is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden.
Man, shut up. Get the hell out of here. I got muscles for days.
You'll hear of this. King Loghain will see you quartered.
That's right, walk off, pussy.
You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find.
That door didn't open. It made sounds, but it didn't open.
Those statues are dwarven paragons, if I remember right.
We prefer that
The best of their ancestors.
If there
Hull monitor.
anything complimentary to be said about these people, 'tis that they possess a remarkable facility for carving stone.
Do you think they sell miniatures of these in the city? I would love to have some on my mantle.
You didn't have a mantle?
Show some pity for a poor old man.
Paragon Orton.
Now that's a thing of beauty, Doc.
So, dwarves, they don't dream, as I said before, which means, like the maker, aka this world's religion, yeah, they don't buy any of it, or, I don't know, they literally have no experience with it, so they're like, whatever. Instead, they have paragons, which are real. These are people who did amazing things,
Let's get started.
and they changed the history of dwarven society, whatever. They just got buff boy statues.
Show some pity for a poor old
Home monitors.
I imagine you have already composed a suitable ballad to commemorate the events at Redcliffe.
This should be easy
Lyanna.
enough. Why would I do such a thing?
You have taken up your instruments once again, have you not? So to speak. A bard takes events of great import and puts them to tale.
What happened at Redcliffe was horrible. So many people died, and they were violated by unimaginable evil forces.
That was not so difficult, was it? You may wish to add music, however.
You make it sound as if you enjoyed what happened there. I can barely stomach to think of it.
But we were successful in the end.
That's what I'm
Victory
saying.
without cost has
That's
its
what I'm
perks.
saying.
I just think of what that poor little boy went through. No, I don't want to glorify what happened there.
Then who will learn from these events? I would think on it some more, were I you.
Redcliffe was definitely our most successful adventure. We're proud of what happened there.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the diamond quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
Do not speak that way about the man who should be king!
Fucked.
I want them fighting in the commons, especially in front of outsiders. I find that soddy fool, I'll have him in the Legion.
Wow. So this is Orzammar. It's huge.
It's big.
Where did they put all the rock, I wonder?
Let's get started.
Where did they put all the rock? They don't go out to the surface. Proving that's an arena. I think you can participate in it. Might be a good way to get some experience a little later. He has a name.
Did you see that?
I cannot believe what the city has come to. This would never have happened when Endrin was alive.
Oh yeah, it's happening because he's not alive. Also, look at those hands. Oh my god. People are at each other's throats.
The city is torn apart. King Endrin is dead, and the Assembly can't decide who takes the throne, Lord Harrowmont or that monster Balin.
What do you know about Harrowmont?
Lord Harrowmont should be our king. He was King Endrin's closest advisor, the only one he could trust. Endrin himself, ancestors welcome him, asked the Assembly to endorse Harrowmont.
Yeah, alright. But the king's son, that's how it works.
Aye. What a terrible burden for a father to have only Balin left of 3 fine sons. In the end, Endrin himself recognized that Balin cared for nothing but power. It was Endrin who ordered his son away from his deathbed and embraced Lord Harrowmont as his heir.
Why you hate Balin?
Everybody knows he killed his brother Trian and let his father's favorite son take the blame. And many question whether Endrin died abed, as we were told, or whether Balin helped him along.
Well, is Harrowmont even qualified to rule?
He is a good man and a skilled general. King Endrin trusted him with his life, and I will do no less.
A good guy and a skilled general. So he's a nice military man. Does that make him a king? Don't think so. Well.
You come at a sad time, stranger. I'm going home to wait it out. I suggest you do the same.
Nah. Alright, so dwarves are in the middle of an election right now because the king died, obviously. As she pointed out, people think Balin helped the king die. I think that it very much plays it off like Harrowmont's supposed to be the good guy ending here. However, I don't think that's necessarily the case.
Welcome to Jannar Family Armorers. I must say, you look like our type of people. Looking for a new set of mail? At Jannar's, we have everything from leather to platinum.
Oh, platinum. What do we got?
Keep in mind, we also take items on trade.
So, did Balin actually help kill King Endrin? I think the answer is yes. Pretty sure there's evidence that you'll find later, and his behavior doesn't really help his case either. But, you know, who would really kill their dad? Unless they had, like, a really good reason, am I right? And he certainly does. The Orzammar is the last dwarven city on the fucking planet. Because they all, everyone's all got overthrown by Darkspawn. How does that happen when dwarves are freaking renowned warriors? They have stone golems and stuff? I don't know. Well, the answer is that they're, like, isolationists. They don't take help from the outside. And they're all stuck in tradition. Their culture is not evolving at all, so the stuff that let the other kingdoms fall is letting this one fall as well. I'll come back to her later. I want to find a backpack. That's what I'm looking for.
You look like you...
So, basically, Balin really just wants to freaking make actual change, and he was willing to kill his dad to attempt to save his people. That's how I view it anyways. So, yeah, he does do some heinous shit to get his way in the election, but I believe in the end cards, things actually do work out for the better. Whereas with Harrowmont, you have a nice king and all, but, like, nothing's gonna change. And Orzammar is probably fucking doomed.
I tried Dwarven Ale once. I thought it was just something...
Nevin.
Afternoon, stranger. You looking for a stool to share a brew?
Don't mind if I do, brew.
I recommend the Lycan Ale. They brew it downstairs. Name's Naveen. I fight with Prince Balin's Expeditionary Field Unit. Yourself?
Lycan's what you call this fucking gross fungus that grows on stone walls.
Figured as much. Good folks, Wardens. I was in the deep roads when that one came by. What was his name? Dukan, Dunka, something like that.
A Dukan? The king? You dingus? Shit. Oh, Duncan. Never mind.
I met him, sure. Good man. Solid. He knows what we go through in the deep roads. Not many do. Not even the ones who live this close. You have to be on the front lines.
More for Balin?
I go where I'm sent, fight when I'm there, and leave politics where it belongs.
Well, I respect that. Who's your unit fighting?
Every Grey Warden ends up there. That's where they send you when you're ready to leave this world. Go die in the dark, putting away as many vermin as you can. Getting more crowded these days, though. Lots of people interested all of a sudden. We go back tomorrow, and we're not the only ones.
Right, so there was like a teaser trailer for this game that showed a warden walking down in the deep roads, fucking a bunch of darkspawn until he died. And yeah, it's basically how their funerals work. They sense their time's coming, they walk in the deep road, murder a bunch of darkspawn. Anyways, I think it's weird because that warden was wearing the warden uniform that they currently have, like the white and blue with the Griffin logo, and it is nowhere to be found in this game except for maybe what Duncan wears, which still isn't quite it. And that was the teaser, like when this game was in early development, I'm sure.
Balin ordered us in at first bell. He's splitting us into 4 teams to search for some of the lost tigers. Looking for signs of Bronca, I guess. Seems to be who everyone's after.
Who's Bronca?
Bronca was a paragon, some kind of great smith or whatnot. But she went batty and let her whole house into the deep roads more than 2 years ago. No chance she could have survived. And a lot of good men are gonna die looking for her corpse. Excuse me. This brew is starting to taste awful bitter.
You playing Phoenix right now?
Told him I don't understand why the provings aren't open to everyone. Need our help to decide who's worthy.
They're everywhere! I can't take it!
You make me nervous, boy.
Get away! You'll change like the rest! Monsters hidden in all my friends!
What are you talking about?
They follow you. Once you are in the story, they possess your friends and follow. See? I found copies. All from the same pen and older than the ones in song. Dormant my ass. Take them. I want out. I won't disappear chasing a lie. I won't.
Reversion of the incomplete story excerpt. And when his kingdom fell, so disappeared the stolen riches of an age. The beast, the unbound, dormant until one true spirit claims his throne. So must hunt the hero of his people, principled, who would search for ancient evil, and is how they can make a real difference. Scribbled in corner, shake hand, 3 pages, 3 ages, same story, updated. As the tavern song, but older, signature torn out on purpose, but comparing it to his own mattered. All for him how? Assume I can meet this person. I also think this was a quest for like a secret hard boss that got you one of the champion gear pieces in Dragon Age 2. Maybe it's not even resolved in this game, I don't know. Lord Hemley.
Lord Dennick Helmy, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden?
I mean, kinda. I wouldn't say there's no caste. I mean, I was born an elf. That's like being born casteless. And I guess if you're born as a noble, that's like having a caste, and everyone else is just free to do whatever. You know me?
You don't get far as the youngest and most outspoken member of the Assembly without keeping an ear to the stone. I heard there was a Grey Warden in town. No offense, but you kind of stand out.
Yeah, I know. My armor's epic. What are you gonna do about it? Anyways, that's a hot take you got there,
Very
son.
good. I guess someone already told you I was good for nothing, drinking my life away at tapsters. Or did they leave off at greatest shame to ever fall upon the Assembly? I've always liked that one. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent dishers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the Assembly. Orzammar are so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary.
So, like, why do you guys vote for a king? Like, that doesn't even make sense. It's not a king if he was voted for. It's a president. Right? Kings are like a hereditary thing. I thought that was, like, the whole purpose of it.
Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege inevitably wants more. They're not fond of my views on equality.
Who you voting for?
I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Quarter in his life. But Lord Harrimont seems a bit more forgiving. Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning.
Winning against the Darkspawn?
As you wish.
Good. Aura?
Atrust Vala, stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. Welcome to Tapsters. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you?
Yeah, whatever.
Certainly, Warden.
I think specifically how it worked is that, King was, like, given the God-given right to rule, or something like that. I don't know where the claim comes from. Maybe a nomination from the Pope? And that was why it's passed down, genetically, I suppose. I think she wants me to look for her son in the Deep Rose of Sun. That's why I ignore her, because we just do it on the way back.
I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone.
Nah, of course not. They reside in the dirt.
My name is Vilda, widow of Turok of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul.
Why not both?
It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them.
You want me to look for him? Would that make you feel better?
There is no way except to brave the Deep Roads yourself.
You said it, brave, and I got balls.
A warden. So you could do it. Only wardens face the Deep Roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers. Please, find me as soon as you return.
Without a company backing me, you kidding me? We've got freaking Monster, we got BioWare, we got G Fuel. I don't know why we got 2 energy drinks, but we do, because we're gamers. We got Gunners. I think I went the wrong way. This is like the lower quarter. Gonna need to be here right now. Hey, this person wants me to like help establish a chantry down here. As I explained, dwarves don't dream, so they don't believe in any of this bullshit. And ordinarily I'd be like, fuck your ignorance, I'm out of here. I'm not gonna help spread religion. However, cultural development's a good thing, right? Probably, I don't know. Also, this dude's wearing a girl dress.
Sister.
It's a pink robe.
I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light.
Even in the very bowels of the earth, we hear no end of this chant.
And that is something to rejoice in, good sister. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar.
Let me know in terms. No, who's permission you need,
Shaper
guy?
controls changes in Orzammar's structure and society. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting.
The Shaper of Memories. Sounds like subtitle of a JRPG, like a Kingdom Hearts or something. Let me talk to him for you. He will me in.
Oh, I'd hoped you'd say that. I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder, guiding you always.
If this chantry could help just one person as much as it helped me, it's worth any trouble.
Please let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
Yick. I know I made it sound like I'm super intolerant of religion just a minute ago. It's more so in a fantasy setting, because, you know, fanaticism was historically much worse the further back in time we go. So, like, people getting burned alive for not, obeying stupid rules. That's what pisses me off. It's not so much an issue today.
What's down there?
This no doubt leads out to the Deep Roads, the ancient passages that once led to the other dwarven kingdoms.
The Deep Roads are home to the Darkspawn now. Oddly, they're supposed to be safer to travel during a flight.
Dude, bring those nugs, bro. Nice.
I knew I should have stuck to common nugs. I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them the way they skitter.
Common nugs. I don't like those. They look dirty.
No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down.
Yeah, you ain't getting no nugs in Dust Town. That's how you die, man. Gotta make sure that shit's clean.
Good on you, stranger. Only need one to turn this around.
I mean, you only need one. You need at least two so they can fuck. Yagna.
You look like you're not from around here.
I feel like she was in a different location last time. Okay, can I help you?
I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle?
I know all about the triangle, but I didn't bring my tinfoil hat with me, so I'm not super interested.
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study.
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
No dwarf has ever studied at the Circle of Magi. I guess you never read First Enchanter Caitlin's treatise concerning dwarfs and the non-heritability of magic. He tested dwarfs from 20 bloodlines and found they couldn't perform any level of spell casting, regardless of lyrium exposure or time on the surface. The Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences, and over time made us immune to them.
Dwarves make the best tanks, by the way. Because they have natural spell immunity. Why don't you be a proper dwarf? You want the Circle.
I want to go to the Circle to study.
I assure you that desire will depart the moment you arrive.
I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing.
Yeah. I can bring them your request.
That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcast. Tell them I've already begun reading the
shop
for Tikum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child?
She's so enthusiastic and adorable. I'm glad we're helping her.
Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Got a point. She is a cutie. But why, though? So, as I mentioned before, dwarves are like my usual go-to generic fantasy race if they don't have, like, Raccoon Man available. Oh, you know, they're short, they're buff, they're Scottish, they got big beards, they like to drink a lot. What's not to love? However, dwarven women are supposed to have beards. All dwarves have beards. That's just how it works. And they, like, didn't do it because of gender norms or whatever for this. Why? Come on, they're a different race. It's not even supposed to be like a thick beard, it's just like a little peach fuzz or something. A little fluff.
Go on, I'm out of the nug game. Got nothing to sell.
Nah, bro, I got you some primo nugs.
Saraka, I'm back in the game, such as it is. I don't have much besides gratitude, but find a bunch more of these and I'll toss you whatever I found.
On it.
There's a pretty neat game called We Are the Dwarves. Plays a little bit like this, but more real-time with pause, less weight in the combat. A bit more linear too, but I don't know, it was a neat thing all around. Had cool crowd combat. And the story was pretty good. Anyways, one of the companions you get is a dwarf girl with like a spear, and she's pretty epic. You know what? She rocks those sideburns. They look good on her.
The social strata quickly makes itself evident no matter where one goes.
So the closer you live to the surface, the higher class you are. Unless you're actually on the surface.
From what I've heard of dwarven politics, I'm almost surprised we haven't seen blood running these streets.
This should be easy enough.
Lord Haramont!
I feel like these people have more to say once I'm actually taking part in the election.
None beneath his station.
For now, I'm just like walking by them. I don't think that they even influence it too much if you do talk to them.
Huh. That's a lot of lava. I guess they just hope it never erupts.
I have a wonder, Alistair, if you will indulge me.
What do they do if it just spills out a little?
Of the two of you that remain, are you not the senior Grey Warden here? I find it curious that you allow another to lead while you follow.
You find that curious, do you?
In fact, you defer to a new recruit. Is this the policy of the Grey Wardens, or simply a personal one?
What do you want to hear? That I prefer to follow? I do.
I am simply looking for some of your father in you. That is all.
Leave me alone.
It's funny. We want Alistair to be the leader because we like him, but he doesn't like leading at all. And this is the Assembly, aka the Senate. Bar tag.
Warden, welcome. It is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order. I am Vartag Gavorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring?
I need aid.
Yes, the treaty. I've seen it in the Shaper's libraries. Now the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now.
Yep, I'm gonna get someone elected.
My prince is the rightful king, but a disappointing number of lords back the upstart Haramond for the throne. If you show your support for Prince Balin, he might be able to assist with your requests.
Can I talk to Balin?
You must understand, Haramond hides behind his good reputation while sending spies and assassins. Balin can't know who to trust.
Balin sends thugs.
It's been like a knife in the heart for Balin to see so many of his father's men stand with the usurper.
At least he's not hiding, though. He's not a coward. I approve my good intentions.
Haramond has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Haramond's deception, I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude.
And where to go, man?
Haramond promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmy. Oh, excuse me, two assembly members. Desher is their formal title. Haramond can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Haramond gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that these are not actual real notes. Like, they're just threats on paper. But, you know, whatever. We can ignore that.
Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmy's adventurous, likes to spend his time at Tapster's in the Commons. Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
Huh? I think I'm still supposed to walk in here.
The Assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
What's up?
It's gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the service trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the Assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough. The Assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions.
Oh, alright. I don't think I gained anything but a laugh. Dueling. Teal, Harrowmont representative. Maybe shield's a different color.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Forrender. Second to Lord Harrowmont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help.
Yeah, I have a tree, so help.
And that is a terrible risk for the surface. But even if the world would end tomorrow, Lord Harrowmont cannot ignore Balin today. He cannot afford to trust anyone of unproven loyalties.
Well, how about you just drop the fucking politics and think about it this way? If you're Darkspawn coming from both below and above, then you're like double fucked. So how about you just help me out, please?
If you wish to show you have no loyalty to Balin, then work against him in Harrowmont's name. Balin is hosting a proving today, supposedly to honor his father's memory. The Deshers take it very seriously, and unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down.
Find out why your fighters dipped?
That would be enlightening. Though I hope you won't pry too deeply into things they don't wish revealed. If you wish to show your loyalty, enter the proving as his lordship's champion. With your order's reputation, I've no doubt the ancestors would favor your arm. Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harrowmont would have no fear of meeting with you then.
Well, I really don't want to start picking sides, though.
Then I'm afraid your only choice is to wait until there's a winner. Lord Harrowmont cannot risk his life working with someone of unproven loyalties. If you change let me know. The proving is this afternoon, and Lord Harrowmont could certainly use you on his side.
Yeah, because he's a freaking loser. So, my personal belief that Harrowmont is in fact not Harrowmont,
Let's get started.
Balin is, the better choice in the long run aside. I think that since I'm supposed to be a neutral party, I should just go with the flow of things, which also means Balin, since he has the right to the throne.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume? Not that I could really help. I, don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research.
What kind of research?
I was looking for something about the Orton Tig. It was lost during the last blight, and there aren't many records left. They were a noble house once, descended from the Paragon Orton, who composed the grand epic of the Seven Brothers and the Ortonic Symphony. My mother's family believes they were descended from Kalana Orton, who was training in Orzammar when the Tig fell. I'm even named for the house, Orta. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads.
I'm not afraid of deep roads, but I just go there.
A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Tig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Balin and Lord Harrowmont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Tig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
Thief!
Who would dare take from the memories?
I don't know.
Warden, I'm outraged. A thief in the Shapered. What have we been reduced to?
You look like a potato.
I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine. He's probably in the slums somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dust Town. They couldn't know the value.
This guy's a butthole. So, when you're castless, as in you were born poor, or one of your ancestors was a disgrace, which is how they lost their caste, and because of that, you inherit their shittery, they brand you. Like, you know, like a hot iron. So, if you play a dwarf commoner, you're castless, and you're not allowed to not have a tattoo. It's kind of annoying. Anyways, he didn't get to pick where that fucking brand went, and just fucking stuck it on his eye, and like, come on, dick. Oh. So let's summon something, and I guess that could be moderately useful. However, so the death mark thing, like, just made guys take more damage. I don't think it required me to use backstabs or anything. Issue is, I don't think it has a very long cast range. And Duelist is obviously for melee fighters as well. I just don't know. Having a summon is going to cost stamina, and I want her to use skills pretty frequently, so maybe I should just go with Assassin, right? Cunning. Only dexterity. Or cunning. Perhaps, whatever. Yeah, range short. I want to check out Ranger. Let me see what it's like. There's some upkeep, forest roll, fight alongside the party. Powerful bear. Fighter. It's just like the shapeshifter. Stronger animals. I'm just not into it, man. What does this one give us? +1 damage per hit? That's kind of OP. What we got? Dueling, +10 bonus to attack. Lowering upset, attack increased further. In defense as defense bonus, dodge chance. 1 point strike, critical chance. For melee and 1% for ranged. Alright, so it does more effect ranged a little bit, right? Percent moon. So it's like a stronger version of the kick. I wish this did something when this wasn't active. Point strike, range personal. So I guess that means it affects any weapon. 15 seconds, all successful melee attacks regenerate automatic critical hits, so range attacks have 50% critical chance. And that's cool and all, but it's very easy to get to a point where you can just crit with every hit. I think I'll maybe stick with Duelist then. Even if it's just for the freaking damage bonus. Lethality. That's what we were working towards, to make her cunning replace her damage stat. So she should have just got a massive damage boost. Oh, the Ranger class comes from a book, by the way. Like, you can just buy it off a merchant. It's not hard to get.
On it. Allow me. I can do that for you.
Those are alright gloves. I feel like Morgan might appreciate that. And it's about Andraste, so maybe Liliana, but also maybe Morgan, I don't know. Morgan.
Interesting.
No! No! I hope I quick saved. Not dumbass. Alright, give it to Leanna then. She likes blasphemy, right?
Why, thank you so much.
Yeah, well, I don't know who would want it otherwise. Fuck. You know, so I'm supposed to talk to get the permit for religion.
Entrin was king and Orzammar was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it firsthand. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of Memories.
Zebor.
The Shaperate guards Orzammar's knowledge. We have preserved in Lyrium all of the records of Dwarven history. The memories record all. They are how we know to which family a child owes life, how we trace lost ties. They ensure we forget nothing of our past, good or bad.
Radioactive paper.
These are Harrowmont lands promised here. But these are not the deals we approved at the Shaperate. Where did you get these?
I don't think I was supposed to do that.
If you wish, you can make your words as false as the documents you bear. Then keep your silence. The Shaperate will launch its own investigation into these forgeries.
Oh. Yeah, whatever. I'm just along for the ride. I'm not gonna save scum that.
You are an outsider, Warden, but not outside the law. I hope you will not do anything to challenge the stability of Orzammar. Ah, you return, Warden. Is there more you would know from Orzammar's memories? That is an odd request. especially for one so new to our city.
I come on behalf of Brother Burkle.
I thought so. This is not the first time he's made this plea. My answer to Brother Burkle hasn't changed. So I ask you the same. On what basis would you have me insult the ancestors and overturn 2,000 years of tradition?
On the basis that you've followed the same tradition for 2,000 years. I'd rather wait for a human army to convert you, because you know they will.
While I do not appreciate your tone, I have considered that point. Perhaps we will allow Brother Burkle his prayer meeting. As a show of diplomatic good faith. At least the words would come from one of our own. Now, is there anything more? I will record this conversation in the memories. I hope I do not come to regret it.
Alright, I'm a bully. Scholarship edition. Yeah, that was actually a pretty good game. I think that they fucked up by naming it Bully. Because, you know, came from Rockstar, they already have, like, a pretty bad reputation for making GTA, like, among the boomers. But when you make a game that's allegedly about being a school bully, you really fucked up in the eyes of the parents.
Voted on everything, or something like that.
For such a short...
That's not the case.
In Orzammar, most likely to
You know, after all this is over, I wouldn't mind getting a job here. I could sing, tell stories, help the king get items from high shelves.
Like, yes, you do some potentially scummy things to climb the social hierarchy of high school. However, you're not the real bully of the game. There is a bad guy, and, like, I don't know, Jimmy was a good kid, for the most part.
What do you want? Ah, I suppose you're the Grey Warden everyone's talking about.
Yep, that's me.
It's fascinating the surface has an entire order dedicated to fighting Darkspawn. Down here, that's just what fighting means. But I'm sure it's more difficult on the surface. It must be much harder to find them.
Would you look at these papers? I don't shoot the messenger.
Well, this isn't exactly a surface broadsheet. Where did you get these? Never mind. It is true enough, but there's nothing I can do about it. This deal was made on behalf of our entire house. Only my father can revoke it.
Well, where's Daddy at?
He is leading a Deep Roads expedition, trying to secure an ancient Tig. It's unlikely he'll be back before the election, but perhaps this vote is important enough for you to brave the tunnels to tell him? The Dace family would be in your debt.
I'll go tell him.
Thank you. He was searching an old Idukan site. He left me with this map, in case his expedition never returned. I'll give you a pass as well. Usually, no one is allowed past the front lines. Good luck.
Right, so in other words, hey, we gotta reuse every map in this game, so we're gonna make you go to the prologue for the Dwarf Noble. There's actually some bullshit in this area. Traps and stuff. Alright, so Dwarf Noble Origin, you played, King Endrin's favorite son, who, Balin framed. It starts with you going on a Tide expedition. The noble casts are essentially just warriors. They lead small armies to go recover lost history. So it starts with that, you get home, some political bullshit happens, you get framed, you get exiled, sent back into the Deep Roads alone, because you're gonna fight Darkspawn, which is kinda hard, and eventually you run to Duncan. Otherwise, someone who's exiled would probably die, or if they're awesome enough, they can make it to the Deadcast's fortress, where they'll join the Legion. Which, still basically a death sentence, but you know there's more purpose to it.
As you wish.
I think that's basically all that happened. It's actually a pretty long thing because of all the dungeon crawling that you have to do. The other one, the Dwarf Commoner, I think that your sister was like a prostitute that you were whoring out on purpose because you need money. Eventually you get a job to like go into the Proving as a noble, and you get caught, which the family doesn't like. So they imprison you, and you break out of prison. And I think that you also end up retreating through the deep roads. So that end this segment's more or less the same. I believe you run into the Horse Sister and that whole gang here as well.
Do you see how things lie, Warden? Lord Harrowmont cannot trust you unproven, but he welcomes a good faith gesture.
Yeah, I still haven't decided if I want to help you.
Do not tarry. Proving starts this afternoon.
Well, I must have been thinking of a different place.
This should be easy enough.
Well, there's... Nah, definitely.
News of the hour. Questions remain as to involvement in King Endrin's...
So, you know, naturally, if you were the Dwarf Noble and you came back, you'd think maybe you have a right to the throne. You don't, because you're a Grey Warden. You were exiled. You were wiped from the memories. You're not even technically an Dukan anymore. However, you do have a claim to the surface throne. You are allowed to make yourself king at the end if you want. It's strange, considering you're a dwarf. Only the human noble and him are able to do that. Nug. Shilly Nugs.
So, I've been hearing rumors of a certain wine.
I forgot to mention, Dagna reappears in Inquisition as, like, your primary crafting lady. For whatever reason, Sandal shows up in Dragon Age 2 as your enchanter again, and then he's just completely absent in 3. Like, I was expecting some really freaking crazy reveal to happen with him. It doesn't come.
Andraste teaches that patience is the child of wisdom, but I'm eager to hear if you've seen the Shaper. Oh, praise the Maker! You truly walk in the light, friend. I already found a convert among the merchants who offered his shop as a temporary chantry. It's just by the tapsters. Please, come to our first service.
I won't take that nug, though. Sounds like it wants me to do the provings. I know I'm gonna have to go down here and take care of the Carta, aka the Mafia. This is like a really shitty system with the cast, because once you're castless, you are not allowed to work. That's just how it is. You can't set up a shop. You can't legally prostitute, but a lot of people do. Yeah, you're basically just supposed to sit there and fucking starve to death. I don't get it. But you're still a disgrace if you want to go up to the surface. So, like, nobody does, except for the smugglers, of course, which is what most people are doing. So, the castless brand is kind of synonymous with the Carta.
Very beautiful, Morrigan. Tell me
something I do not know.
But you're always dressed in such rags. It suits you, I suppose. A little tear here, a little rip there to show some skin. I understand.
You understand I lived in a forest, I hope?
Maybe we could get you in a nice dress one day. Silk. No, maybe velvet. Velvet is heavier, better to guard against the cold in Ferelden. Dark red velvet. Yes. With gold embroidery. It should be cut low in the front, of course. We don't want to hide your features.
Stop looking at my breasts like that. 'Tis most disturbing.
Is that not what she wears already?
And if it's cut low in the front, we must put your hair up. Show off that lovely neck.
You are in.
That's how she already dresses.
Sooner let Alistair dress me.
It'll be fun, I promise. We'll get some shoes too. Shoes. We could go shopping together.
You're not friends.
Let's get started.
Alright, proving time. I believe that I'm supposed to fight in the arena alone until, like, the last fight where I can bring in a partner, so this is gonna be a bit of a pain in the ass.
The Proving Grounds. Bloodsport entertainment for the masses, at its best.
Ah, the highlight of underground existence, I take it.
I hear there are all kinds of rules that govern the proving. They get very mad if you break the rules.
I thought it was kind of like actual bullshit how the Dwarf commoner thing went down at the end of the proving. Like your helmet gets knocked off. You're like, oh shit, he's a commoner. We can't have that, even though he won. See, there's another, like, folklore character called Aveline, who was a woman who entered a tournament and won, beat everyone's ass, and she got executed for it. She was like a women's rights symbol in this world, I guess. A martyr, but, you know, she showed the world that women can fight. People have red names, they're scaring me.
You looking at something?
Oh my god.
Get out of here!
Oh my god! Russian. He is Russian.
Meditate before my fight.
Sorry, I was just leaving.
Seawarin?
Go away. I don't talk to admirers until after the fight.
Aren't I supposed to be convincing some people to do stuff, or...?
This is a private area. Combatants only.
Oh, you know what? I think that the Carta kidnapped them. Kidnapped Haramon's fighters. And he might have sent me to help him if I was supporting him, but... whatever.
Guards, remove this intruder.
I guess I could technically just walk into their lair. Like, it's no big deal. But why would I do such a thing? I'm pretty sure that place is no fun at all. In fact, it's pretty difficult. There's nothing to grab. There's a chest behind a door that doesn't even open. However, I'm gonna enter this proving here. In fact, I'm gonna make a hard save just in case I, fucking prove me wrong.
Good day, stranger. Welcome to the proving arena. We're still closed until the fighters make their preparations, but come back this afternoon if you want to watch the show.
Do I have to talk to one of the men first?
Enjoy our grab.
Where's Balin at? They told me not to... Oh, I have to pass out the letters first, of course.
Right.
Which means I have to go back to the pub, right? I already gave the one to Lady Ace. Or actually, I have to go into the deep roads to get out that letter too. So, take care of that. Deep roads is split into like 3 different zones, kinda. There are the roads where you fight Darkspawn, the caves where you fight these little wormhead boys. They're like velociraptors, but wormhead. Kinda spooky. And there's like a spider zone too. And the final area is full of golems, but like it makes sense. That's not where I want to go. I want to go to the pub right here. This pub open. Lord Emily, my man, I talked to you earlier.
I wasn't expecting you back. I guess you realize this is about the only fun in Orzammar?
Have you been to the proving? I have news. Aramon's double dealing you.
Oh, well, I'd ask for proof, or why you care, but frankly, I'm so tired of it I'm not even surprised anymore. I don't even want the land, but my house would kill me if I turned it down. Responsibilities, you know? Now I'll have to go through the whole process of rejecting the deal. And we'll both have to try something else. And I thought it was going to be a nice day.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
You're just doing what you think is right.
I'm not, though.
Mother that Lord Harrowmont hasn't bought our vote after all.
What language are you speaking? I think that the Lord of the Rings dwarves had the same kind of deal going on, where most of their cities are freaking destroyed. Which is weird, because, you know, they definitely tried to change things a little bit in every other area from the generic Tolkien fantasy, but for whatever reason, they just chose for the dwarves to be mostly the same.
What's this? An elf? I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you past the front lines without Adesh's permission. And I've heard nothing of any new patrols scheduled to leave today.
Ah!
I see you have his daughter's seal, so I will not stop you. But be careful. Just because the beasts have pulled back from Orzammar doesn't mean there are any fewer in the deep roads. Either we finally have the edge, which I doubt, or the beasts are building up numbers for the next attack.
They're on the surface.
The surface? But I thought the vermin never went up that far except to...
Except during blights. Ancestors save us if that's what's happening.
Well, I should go.
Best of luck.
Right.
Was I saying something? I was. So, yeah, last city on Earth is where all the Darkspawn are coming normally when it's not a blight. So, while there's technically not a Black Gate equivalent, this right here is basically the Black Gate. It's underground. This is where the Deadcast Fortress is, right here across the bridge. Darkspawn will come from down here. I thought it was funny how, like, Game of Thrones isn't even trying to be super hard fantasy, but they also had a Black Gate equivalent. As did We Are the Dwarves, Kim had mentioned earlier. Just a big wall holding off the Hellland that nobody likes. In fact, with Lord of the Rings and Dragon Age and Game of Thrones alike, it's all freaking outcasts who are sent there to defend it. Like, you'd think they'd take the issue more seriously, but no, we just want the criminals to defend our land. Give me a second. Since we're going into a dungeon, I'm gonna look. Okay. Got a game I can talk about since I finished it, of course.
Let's get started.
I played Ghost of a Tale. Now, this game had an Indiegogo campaign with a lot of backing. And I remember when it came out in early access through Steam Greenlight a very long time ago. They had like a promising demo thing where you were like on a beach and there were spooky skeleton, you had a sword, and then when the early access thing came out, it was a stealth game. There was no combat. There were no skeleton. You know, I will say that stuff is in the game, minus the sword. But just in a different fashion than it was originally. So yeah, stealth game, essentially. I mentioned when I was talking about Tooth and Tail not long ago that I really love mice. Despite owning cats, I think that they're fucking adorable. So this game has you play an adorable little mouse in a prison ran by rats. Let's see, this world has kind of cool lore. The gist of it, however long ago there was this spooky green flame that caused some kind of zombie invasion to happen. And basically everyone got screwed, but the Rat Kingdom, like, manned the fuck up and fought it back. And they ended up taking over the world in a sort of fascist regime. But you know what? They earned it. Like, fucking everyone else got wrecked by the Green Flame Army, so You go, rats. Anyways, you got captured for some bullshit, and you got sent to a prison. Coincidentally, also ran by outcasts. It's like a prison in the middle of an acid lake. So the place is it's on the brink of destruction. They just send all the nobodies there. You play a minstrel, aka a bard. And you're looking for your poor wife. You also have a son, but he's dead. Again, there's like a lot of lore you can dig through in this game, which is neat. The credits make it seem like the bulk of the work was done by one person, so it makes the lack of combat a lot more understandable. There was a small team, but like the other members were mostly help with like sound stuff and special effects and marketing. However, like all the art, programming, actual game design, level making, that was all one man. And you know what? He made a fucking beautiful game, I gotta say. You know, when you set aside the part where you're expecting an RPG, it said accept it for what it is, which is not really a stealth game. It starts out that way, but you pretty quickly unlock a costume, which will let you just blend in with the rat guard and you can walk around freely. It's really more like an adventure game, like a point and click, except you're playing in third person. You just walk around, find shit, give it to the right people, do some trickery. There's technically combat in the sense that you can like throw bottles at shit, explosive pine cones. There aren't very many enemies. I think there's maybe like 6 in the entire game, with the exception of the ending. So, I know that it is technically an RPG. I mean, you earn experience, which will increase your health, which doubles as your stamina. That's about all it's good for. You can also pick up some skills to help you with exploring the world. So those have nothing to do with your character level. Really save when facing the right direction. Aside from that, the bulk of your powers come from the costumes that you collect, which will modify your stats. More importantly, dressing up as something can help you trick the NPCs. Like, there's a pirate costume you can use to talk to a pirate who's in prison. There's a thief one you can use to dazzle some aspiring thieves. The guard outfit lets you walk right in front of the guards, even talk to them.
Victory shall be...
Small gripe with the guard outfit, as you complete tasks throughout the game, you'll earn upgrades for it, which will make it hinder your movement less. But the fact it hinders your movement at all is just annoying, because like you can't be caught while you're wearing it, so why you just gotta make me slow? Eventually you can move at a decent speed in it, and there is actually a special variant of it that you can pick up that doesn't hinder your movement at all. There's just a minor annoyance. I wished I invested in the upgrades before I took the skills, honestly. Since you were given an option. You get them all if you do all the quests, of course, but whatever.
You need help?
Another small annoyance, there was a side quest that I wasn't able to do because I initiated the end game too early.
Ready!
It was related to like a seemingly irrelevant piece of dialogue that I never picked. I went back and did the quest itself, but I didn't get the achievement for doing all the quests in the game because I didn't do it in the same run. Kinda pissed me off, not gonna lie. anyways, beautiful game. A lot of lore with an interesting story. Kind of short, and there seems to definitely be plans for a sequel, which might include combat, based on what's gonna happen. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next in the story, whether this next game is more of the same or not. I wasn't at all disappointed with it, however, it does seem like the endgame play area wasn't much larger than what they had available in the early access version of the game. Which I guess just means that the early access period was the whole game with improvements being made, which is probably what it should have been, right?
I shall.
You should run while you can. Back.
So I felt that the guard costume kind of trivialized a lot of the gameplay, since like it's not a stealth game anymore, so really you're just picking shit up and talking to people, but that's exactly what adventure games are. So I guess I can't complain in that sense, even though adventure games just generally aren't my cup of tea. Whatever, I enjoyed it, for the most part. I'm not gonna lie, I entirely bought it for the cute mouse. He gets costumes, come on. He starts with a cute hat with a little bell on it. There's like a scarecrow you can steal the head from, put a little jack-o'-lantern on your head. It's adorable, come on.
Right.
So, you know, I give it cute mouse out of 10.
On it. As you wish.
Only one shall stand.
Oh shit, I didn't tell him the... Fuck. Run!
Defend yourself.
Oh shit.
Now we can can't die like this.
I guess I could also talk a little bit about Book of Demons, which is a roguelike, so it doesn't necessarily have an end, though I did beat the final boss, technically. There's really not a ton to say about the game. I think that it does what it set out to accomplish well.
As you like.
See, it has like a cardboard cutout / paper crafts art style, which I really like. I think that it looks good throughout. Kind of seems like it would maybe be a mobile game at first glance, but I don't think it actually is on the phone, so there's that. The controls definitely get more complicated the more you play it, so like I wouldn't imagine one to play that on a phone anyways. You definitely need a keyboard for it. Oh my god, he just keeps healing.
Be careful.
See, so first thing I noticed, which was kind of disappointing, when you launch the game, it sets up this whole intro for a thing called the Archive of Awesome, right? That's what they're going for. They want to make like 8 games or so. I don't remember how many books were in there.
Too much.
That were papercraft homages to classics.
Let's get started.
And currently there is only one available, which is Book of Demons. And see, there's one in very early development that's going to be like a homage to XCOM. so alien hunting. And they also have like a Book of Demons spin-off, which is a card game or some bullshit, I don't know. So, you know, it makes you access the game through a launcher menu, essentially. And you're just looking at an archive with one book in it. I'm like, okay. I was kind of hyped until you showed me that you didn't have any other books in your archive. They maybe should add that a little bit later, after they've released the second one. Other than that, let's see. So this game was inspired by Diablo, if you couldn't tell. It's got like more of a comedic tone to it, but it definitely has like the gothic dark art style down. And even to an extent, the gameplay. Like, say, as card-based loot, so you pick up your new abilities as cards, that is your fat loots. You don't have the RPG equipment, which is good. I mean, it's gonna be kind of an inflammatory statement, I'm sure, but Diablo is a clicker game, guys. It is. Except for the part where you have freaking... Except for the part where you can use the number keys to use potions or whatever, you have the left click to move and the right mouse to use your skill or whatever. And that's what it is. And then the primary mechanic of it is picking up colored loot because you're playing a slot machine. And, yeah. I'm not saying that I don't love Diablo, but it's just a clicker. Let's not pretend otherwise. So, when the main combat of this game is just clicking on enemies till their hearts drop, and then picking up gold and new cards of varying rarities, it feels more or less the same. It's actually nice they let you hold the mouse button and it'll attack at the fastest rate you can, instead of just spamming the clicks and ruining your mouse. I appreciated it. So, when you hear card game, you think that you're like drawing from a deck and, you know, you play the card, it's gone. Something more like Slay the Spire. That's not the case. They're just... It is loot, just portrayed as a card. So, when you pick something up, it adds into your ability menu, and you can drag it onto your hotbar, which... Equipping them costs resources if they're passive bonuses, like amulets and stuff. And for active abilities, you need to use that same resource to use them. So when you level up, you can invest in either health or mana. And, yeah, you very quickly use up your mana by just equipping the cards and using them. There's not even a decent way to replenish it until later on, when you pick up a medallion that lets you replenish it over time.
Watch for their blood.
Which I cannot imagine getting through the final area of the game without. And the game is split into 3 different areas. The first one is like generic prison dungeon. It's full of zombies which explode into poison clouds on death. And the final boss is the Butcher, like literally the Butcher from Diablo. So gameplay was pretty simplistic at that point, but the difficulty picked up the deeper I went. By the time you get to Act 2, it was an entirely different game. The thing I didn't like about Act 2 was how open the areas were. It was just a lot of really long corridors with nothing much in them. They added ghost enemies, which have cold damage, which means that they're now introducing elemental stuff. Aside from just all the poison that you've been dealing with. Something I like about the poison, actually, is after a little bit, you just click on your health bar to cleanse the poison early. It was a nice mechanic, because you'd have to stop clicking on the enemies to click on your health instead. You know, it's a distraction. And you also have to click to move too, so to avoid like poison clouds and stay out of attack range, stuff like that. It does a good job at keeping your mouse away from the enemies when it wants to, which I think is very important for making clicker gameplay engaging.
Darkspawn. Oh, watch for their blood.
Ready! As you like.
So yeah, I wasn't really a fan of the second area, and actually the boss of that area starts off with a segment where it takes away all the cards you have equipped, and you have to go pick them all back up, even the ones that you didn't have equipped, so you just gotta collect a lot of freaking cards before you can finally go fight the boss. And because the game has a system where you, like, use these special keys to fight a harder version of the boss and get fatter loots, every time you kill a boss, you get a guaranteed unique legendary drop. That's something that you want to do.
Let's get started.
Yeah, I just never willing to refight that second boss, like, ever again, because it's so long and tedious to get to him.
Very well.
I didn't say it was roguelike, but it doesn't have to be like a permadeath type thing. When you die, you can pay a large amount of your in-game currency. There is no premium currency. To resurrect. Otherwise, your character will get permanently wiped. If you chose the man difficulty. Otherwise, you just lose some stuff. Some arbitrary stuff. There's like this soup pot that you collect ingredients for, and then when you cash them in, you get fat loots. So, you want to get a bigger pot to get fatter loots, so stack it up to cash it in. When you die, you lose all of what's in there, which kind of sucks. But, you know, even without the permadeath, there is still that to lose, I guess.
Darkspawn coach. Watch for their blood.
Anyways, third area is Hell, which is a lot more tightly packed, and there are just enemies fucking everywhere. And you will be spamming the crap out of all your skills when you're there. It's a completely different game. Yeah, it's really just a mess, but that's kind of exactly what the Hell level was like in Diablo 2 as well, from what I remember. So, I guess they nailed that. And the final boss is obviously their own knockoff version of Diablo. He likes little demon rubber duckies. Let's see, when you level, while there is no equipment, when you reach certain level milestones, your character's overall look does change, which gives a nice sense of progression, I guess.
On it.
I just like to see it. There's cute little musical numbers with little rhymes about all bosses before you meet them for the first time. And of course a credits song. Nothing's ever gonna beat the end of Double Dragon Neon, but you know, they tried. And yeah, I only played the warrior so far. And I enjoyed my time as him. For a mage and rogue class you unlock after reaching like level 10. Which they have different cards available that they can pick up. It changes things a little bit, but it's still the core clicker gameplay. Yeah. The game had more depth to it than I expected. I think it's definitely a lot more casual than Diablo, but in a way, it scratches all the same itches without trying to make me spend my real-world money. Sadly, there is no PvP to it. That's the one thing that's missing, but it's not there for obvious reasons. Even then, the multiplayer in Diablo is kind of bullshit because it's loot-based. So it's basically pay to win, because you had to go to the auction house and buy the best equipment if you want to win. Or you can try your luck grinding the same boss for a year and hoping for a 0.001% drop rate item to come your way.
Watch for the beast.
There's no skill involved, you're still just clicking on each other, so like, what's even being shown in PvP? I guess there is a little skill with more movement-based abilities, but most people don't have those. Oh, another thing that I actually liked was that despite being a melee character at the start, you do have an attack range that's decent. Diablo, playing a melee character is basically the worst thing you can do, because if you're ranged, you can just attack without getting hit. If you're melee, you have to go into hit range to get hit. It's just stupid. You're much better off just spamming spells and mana potions. I think that my favorite class is actually the Assassin from Lords of Destruction, because she had a spell that would make her dodge attacks, so, you know, being melee wasn't stupid.
On it.
We finally found Mr. Dace. Oh. I don't know, I think it was a cute little game. Interested to see what they do next. I want it to be a little less casual, but it was neat. If you're maybe a little fed up with how Blizzard's been acting recently, maybe you go give it a try instead. Again, I think that did definitely scratch the same itches as Diablo, minus the scummy business.
Allow me. I can do that for you.
Right.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
You pulled us from a tight spot, friend. You have my gratitude. I am Lord Anwar Dace. So how does an elf come to be down here, anyway?
You should look at these papers.
I don't understand. What could...
These are the terms of a deal we made with Lord Harrowmont, but... the charlatan. He's promised the exact same land to Helmy. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I owe you twice now. My life and my house's fortune.
Please tell your daughter not to vote for Lord Harrowmont. Perhaps you would return that favor?
Ah yes, a favor for a favor. My family is very influential with some of the surface merchants. If you attend any of their stores, you'll find them quite obliging to any friend of the Daces.
I believe he's talking about Gorham.
My men need healing and I want to look into this. You wish to travel with us?
Nah.
Be careful then. There are more dangerous things than deep stalkers down here.
Deep stalkers were easy mode.
I shall do it.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
There's just more deep stalkers down this way. It'd be a nice walk in the park. I do have a few other things I can talk about. One of them has an end very far out of sight, and the other one's another endless thing. So I guess I'll do that one while we're here. Has anyone ever played Cook Serve Delicious? I know the third game just came out. I got the second one from Humble a long time ago. I started playing it recently. I work at a restaurant, so like, part of me is just like, I really shouldn't be playing this because it's just freaking more work, but I don't know, something about it's still fun. Basically, this is another clicker type thing. It's a stress simulator. You gotta run a whole restaurant by yourself, essentially. Making the foods as easy as slapping it down, waiting for a timer, then slapping ingredients in the correct order, and getting it all out in a timely manner. But there are also like other disturbances like mouse traps, fly traps, toilets, mashing garbage, beating up robbers, stuff like that. Let's see, so I guess the plot of this game is that your restaurant from the first game burned down, and you had to move into this big new tower, and you were completely broke. So you have to work at a ton of other restaurants to make your restaurant nice, and you can use all the money that you earn to like decorate your restaurant and buy new recipes for food to serve. And you can use that to run like high difficulty or endless mode, do challenges in your restaurant. Once you're done with all the normal missions at the various places, they'll have unique menus, unique ways of going about things. There's a... Right now, my least favorite place to work is the ice cream place, because it started out kind of simple. You know, it's ice cream, you make it relatively quick. There's no cooking time involved, you just slap the ingredients together. The issue is the menu just keeps growing with so many toppings, and it's so hard to navigate the menus. Easiest place to work is called Max Wieners. You just, like, slap down corn dogs and stuff. It's real simple. Oh, you want ketchup on that? Bet. So, yeah, it's basically just an anxiety simulator, but something about that's fun to me, I don't know. They're really high resolution pictures of food. It looks kind of delicious. Some of it's a little gross, but, you know, that's just the nature of food. So, I don't know, if you're maybe a fan of Overcooked, you'll possibly enjoy it. Overcooked's a fun little co-op party game. This game does have a co-op mode where one of you can use the mouse, the other can use the keyboard or a controller. It's kind of like Warcraft 3 in that there's a letter key assigned to everything if you want to like be a keyboard god and just shortcut all the ingredients. I find it much easier, just click.
Right.
Easier on the brain.
Move and parry, strike and kill!
And it's also probably easier if you use the controller. It looks like it's bound to the face buttons, so you don't have all keyboard stuff to worry about. Another weird thing that happens in between levels, you can like check your email for stuff from the tower. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff, just like people from the office playing pranks on each other, people leaving weird stuff, like spam, encounters from your restaurant. There's also stuff that you get from the History Society. They, like, send you free things to, decorate your restaurant with. And, you know, they kind of fill you in with the lore of this world, and there's, like, a lot of stuff that happened. Like, California split into, like, 5 different states. There was a big nuclear war that happened, I guess. A lot of places are completely destroyed. Entire cultures that rose and fall in a short time span. And, you know, that's all interesting to read about in a comedic way. There's also lore for all the food as well, which I think has a bit of the joke history mixed in, but it's also kind of like a parody of what the actual stuff with the food is. So I don't know if I'm learning stuff or not.
Allow me. I could do that for you. Allow me. I could do that for you.
So, yeah. Game hurts my brain. It's just a big stress simulator, but it keeps drawing me back for no reason. And the third game looks like you're operating a food truck, which you, like, sell food while in motion. Which, something about that setting just makes me a lot more stressed out. I don't know what. Ah, it's blocked. I think there's a boss in that room, like maybe a big stalker or something. I think that's probably enough for the discussions. I covered 3 things real quick. I've actually been slacking on uploading my VODs. I have them just sitting marked private because, you know, I've been trying to go through them, timestamp them up to make them more digestible so people don't just have to watch a 3-hour thing and be like, oh, I'd love to come back to this, but I'm not going to remember what time I'm at. You know, now I have bookmarks they can click on to go to places. So when I talk about stuff like that, that's specific, I have to actually go through the video and listen for stuff. And it's a lot harder than just clicking through it like I would with marking up the parts of in-game stuff.
On it.
Yeah, I've definitely been slacking on that. I think I'm like 2 or 3 videos behind. I just did one the other day. Again, I got into the bad habit of taking naps around the time that I'd like to stream. And like, if I choose not to stream, it's probably because I'm gonna spend like an hour editing one of those. I'm also supposed to be going back through all my old stuff and doing that for them, but I haven't been super into that either. Same reason. Part of me feels like I should just get rid of some of the older stuff, but I also like don't want to. Like, my mic quality was bad, video quality wasn't quite where it should be, audio is terrible. I have that weird thing where I use some of the royalty-free music to offset the audio since it was so loud. Yeah, there's just a lot of weird stuff going on with that. I have gotten rid of like 2 of them, which were especially bad, but I don't know. Stuff like the Darksiders trilogy, I have to go redo maybe, I don't know. Not that I wouldn't replay any of those games, I would, but it just feels like I shouldn't have to anymore because I recorded them. I can go watch the videos myself if I really want to re-experience them. Or what, there's like the Legacy of Kain stuff, where I had a consistent viewer who liked to talk about weird stuff, which probably deterred newcomers. And, you know, I've said weird things.
Is that all you've got?
Not necessarily ashamed of it, but again, deters newcomers. If someone just clicks on one of those videos, they might be put off. I feel like I should leave it just to, you know, be a man. I think I specifically used critical as the example of why I should leave it, because like he's been on the internet forever. At least 15 years, I think. He started doing it when he was a kid. He's always been doing the weird stuff, saying the dirty things. And, you know, he's proud of it, but it took him a long time, and now he's one of the freaking biggest people on the YouTube and the Twitch. He isn't censoring himself or anything, so why should I? I just feel like I'm more likely to be judged for saying the stuff that he does. Because people don't expect it from me. They haven't known me for 15 years. Just way too many guys here. 2 mages? Are you serious? Yeah, I need to, like, draw these guys out. I can't be caught up in all that bullshit. Anyways, I specifically tried to get away from that stuff anyways. You know, I understand distancing your personal opinions in life from the internet because everyone's a jerk. And you just don't want to put that stuff out there if you want to be happy.
Darkspawn, destroy the fiends.
Direct me.
You know, once I stopped with that, I lessened it severely. I still definitely say stuff that I shouldn't. You know, the goal is to gear towards being more educational, I guess.
It isn't gonna be me.
I definitely feel the best when I'm explaining how things work. Or just actually analyzing lore and whatnot, but I just don't do it enough. I'm aware. I'm aware I'm just being a shitty Let's Player sometimes. You know, it's just a difficult task to figure out because there's no one telling me what is right. No one telling me what to do. I've seen other people do this kind of stuff that I'm going for, and they do it better, obviously, because they've been doing it for a long time, but you know, it just works better for them, so I don't see why it wouldn't work for me.
Oh, this should be fun.
Like, there's no rule book, there's no guide you can follow, you just gotta work at it and hope that you're not bashing your head against the wall. Kinda like this. You know, I've definitely gotten used to the idea of, talking into the void. At this point, I think it's been about a whole year since I started doing this. I think it was last November. Or maybe it's been 2 years, I'm not sure. I used to remember freezing up every time I'd see someone pop in the chat, or even just like a lurker in my view count, so I started hiding that. I started getting into the educational content I like doing because it's just what I'm good at talking to myself about, just thinking aloud. Still, there is a part of me that's like, this isn't going anywhere, not that I ever expected it to, so like, do I really need to do this once a week if it's not actually important to anyone? I don't know. And I could definitely be doing stuff that's more productive with the time. Like, you know, programming. But then again, a big part of why I started doing this was just so I can start to build an audience for me. So that when my game is in a presentable state, I'll have people to show it to and they can help spread the word. You know, it's getting there. I have like a little roadmap to where I want to put out a demo. I don't know, maybe half a year away, I would hope. I definitely have all the core mechanics of the game down, and they need a little more polish, I'm sure, but right now I'm just building out actual detailed levels so that I can see how everything works in practice. For the longest time, I just had one room. I'd set up little test things like platforms and ramps and enemies, just to make sure that stuff works on a fundamental level before I started building stuff that I would have to destroy later because I changed the value of the jump height or whatever. So I'd say I'm at like a 40%, maybe, on the road to putting out a demo or even just a trailer or something. It's a good feeling to finally know where things are going. It's honestly a weird strategy I'm taking too. Like, a lot of the other people will do like devlogs or stuff, but because I have a part-time job, there's a lot of days where I'm so freaking drained and I just don't want to do work. But like, if you're doing a devlog series, people are expecting regular updates. I'm like, I can't promise regular updates. I'm doing this when I can. I've thought about doing like tutorials for stuff too. I watch a lot of those. Not that I don't know what I'm sorry, boy. Not that I don't know what I'm doing, but like, I use them for inspiration more so than following the exact methods that other people use, because, you know, everybody's got their own style of doing things. There is no correct way to do stuff. In fact, I don't normally leave, like, comments on YouTube too often.
On it.
But I usually do provide, like, helpful insight on, like, the devlog and tutorial videos. They're a great place to just, like, get help from other people who are trying to figure out how to do complicated stuff. It's not even like a forum, people just want to share their ideas, because we're all amateurs.
Questions arise regarding...
Anyways, I thought about doing some of those, but I don't know, it's just effort. And there's the part of me that, like, needs to show an extreme amount of confidence, because while everybody should be aware there is no right way to do it, you still have to, like, come off like this is a solid way to do it, and it wouldn't be bad if you just copied my code directly, you know?
Weak man, and he will be a weak king. Yes.
Am I supposed to go to the royal palace? Is that where he lives? I turned in the letters, so I'm looking for Balin's man. Oh, I also need to stop at a store and dump off all my stuff. Because my inventory is pretty full, isn't it? Yeah. In fact, maybe I should go do that in case he hands me a reward. I think the palace is the place that all the bullshit in it anyways. I didn't get anything useful, right? It was all junk stuff. looks like it.
Lord Haramont is a weak man, and he will be a weak.
You know, it's not that I lack confidence, it's just... I feel like when you have a lot of people looking up to you, you need to have even more than just a large amount of it. I learned, pretty early in, like, middle school, I think, that just a little confidence goes a long way. You think you're gonna do bad on tests, then you will. Just go in there like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, I didn't study, fuck it, I'm gonna ace this shit, and then you know, you probably won't get 100, but, you know, you're sitting pretty with like an 85 or something. And, you know, you didn't stress about it at all, you had an alright day, except for the part where the test was just printed and it makes your nose run, because that always happened to me. I was really embarrassed, so he's turning in with little snot bubbles on him. There's just nothing I can do about it. I was looking for a store. Here's a store. You know, I think that it worked out for me.
Welcome back. Is there something else I hope you find.
Basically, as time went on, my grades only improved, and, like, I still never studied or anything. And, you know, I was, like, about 10% of my class, so... definitely did work. In fact, a lot of the people above me in the ranking, thought that I was the smarter one. I think specifically my rank got, like, lowered because I opted out of the certain honors classes because, like, reading literally puts me to sleep. I can read for a total of 20 minutes and then I'll pass out. It's weird, but, like, that's actually what happens. I feel like my brain's suffocating. And I'm just out. So, summer reading? Nah. So I couldn't do that, which, because I didn't take the English, I also wasn't allowed to do the history. So I think that just being in those classes gave other people the objective numbers above me. I definitely could have done well in them if I wanted to, I don't know. I'll hold on to that. Does this guy not want to buy any of my crap?
What was I saying?
I'm looking at my shop, I hope. Ooh, physical technique. It's a nice crossbow. I'll buy that. That's awesome. I'm giving that to Alistair. I think this is from Oregon. Dwarven Wonder Plate. Yeah, that's pretty nice. It's good damager stuff. What was I saying? Braggery? Yeah, that sounds about right. No, not really. I hope it didn't come off that way. Really, it's more just, I've talked about it before. I was still partially am disabled when I was young because I had an accident when I was very young. I did special ed classes for a long time, so I'm just really proud of myself with how I turned out. My parents were proud. Probably why they're so supportive of me trying to be an artist instead of going to school. Why do I have so much crap? I'm pretty sure I need these trade manifests. I should just sell these, right? Fire damage is probably worthless. Explosive bolts, we don't even use crossbows in this house. In fact, I'll sell all the bolts. We only want the arrows. And not even the fire ones. Alright, how's that? Free up no space. Pretty sure this crossbow is just better. Look at that. That's a beautiful crossbow. Well, it doesn't have the reduced aim time, but still, it's pretty strong. I'll give it to Sten or something. And the life giver, that's for Alistair. No, why is he wearing that? Just to have it? Can't believe I still have stuff like that.
I'm only asking.
You're the best wrangler I've ever seen. But there's more out there.
I collected a ton of nugs. Can I just spam them on you? Cool. Alright, now we're going back to the palace. I definitely wasn't expecting it this whole place done. We're like 2 hours 40. It's probably gonna call it after the proving. I don't know how long that'll take, but I definitely expect most of these places to be two-parters. Maybe the Brazilian Forest or whatever it's called will be a one thing. I know that place is a pretty straight shot. It's just like a nice dungeon run. Actually, I pretty much really enjoyed the area, except for the seamy looking rooms once you get to the temple. And the werewolves are just really strong.
Warriors secretly wear Prince Balin's colors. Our prince has
Ah, yep, there's a trap. What the fuck? What? They're digging. what is happening. Did we mind blast? Did we howl? Howl. Oh.
This should be easy enough.
What's going on? By the ancestors.
Good on you, Warden. You caught them in the act. I guess desperate times drive people to strange things.
Hell yeah.
This should be easy enough. On it.
Is this another one of the phylacteries? Ah, shit. Here comes a Revenant. Fuck him up! I think I may be strong enough to take him on. Can I cast weakness on him?
Let's get started.
Oh, use that too. Hey. He's getting fucked up.
Weapons at the ready.
Ah, so close. Wow. Wow. How did that even happen? They don't have ragdolls. They play a death animation, die that way. So, like, why is he rotated weird? Ooh, meat. Sitting out in the open. Gross. You got fish? Some lava fish?
Right. Allow me. I could do that for you.
This is the throne of Orzammar. Okay. It's just a hammer. A really uncomfortable looking chair. You'd think they have like a pillow or something. Boy, it sucks being king. Speaking of my game, I mentioned that I really like the dwarves. I specifically like all their architecture. What the fuck? So I took a lot of inspiration for that with the world I'm building. We're not necessarily dwarves, but we do live underground, and we have a lot of stuff made of stone, carving. I've always been really good at, like, ceramic sculpture and stuff, so I'm into sculpting things, I guess you could say. So stuff like this has always caught my eye. I think there are more pressure plates like this somewhere else in the palace. I don't know where they are at the moment, though. There's another one.
Let's go.
Hope that there's only 3, am I right?
Yes?
Ready.
What now?
Where could this last pressure plate be? Right, max party size is 4, so surely there's only 4 plates. Got 3 of them. It plays a sound whenever you step on or off it, because it's not like actually weight based, it's just like a box, you step inside it, and that triggers whatever interaction it's supposed to have. So I stepped off it and back on it, just in case that off sound also meant that it ticked back the counter for whatever it's supposed to open.
No one enters the prince's estate without an invitation.
Funny story about when I first learned about that kind of thing. A friend of mine had like a shitty shovelware horror game. He saw a streamer that he liked play, so he bought it. You know, he was showing it to me and my brother, and every time you walked by a certain spot, you'd hear like a little shitty jump scare come up. And he was like, "Why does that keep happening? It's annoying." I explained the whole trigger box interaction, and we were just like back forth on that one spot, and he made the screen spam. It was like a cool moment because I was like, wow, he was completely right. He actually knew how they made the shitty mechanic. Right, the guy who we're looking for is maybe still in the assembly chamber where we met him. I assumed that he'd go back to the place like Haramont's guy did.
Lady Dace just came through the quarter on a tear. She's telling everyone who'll listen what a leech and a liar Haramont is. Good job. So you were serious about wanting to help us. Are you ready to meet Balin now?
Yes, take me to him.
I warn you, be on your best behavior, and keep your weapons sheathed.
Is that a bug or a shelf?
Not many outsiders so quickly grasp Orzammar's rather convoluted politics.
Not sure what you mean.
Fartag told me of your efforts against the usurper who tried to claim my father's throne.
Yeah, look, I just handed out some letters that he gave me. Like, I didn't put much thought into it, man.
Traditionally, the king decides his successor. The assembly just says aye or nay. Kings have only ever selected someone outside their families if they were childless, or if their children lacked the capacity to rule, or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup.
Yeah, all I care about is getting my army, dude.
Then we have a common goal.
Fuck yourselves.
We may not like each other, but the Blight is our first priority. We need absolute unity to fight against the fulcrum of true evil.
We may not like each other. Wow, way to be blunt. Glad to know we can't be friends anymore, Balin. We just met. Alright, so you're on your agreement?
Absolutely. And sworn on the mail of my ancestors, as soon as Orzammar is united under my rule. Unfortunately, while this debate rages, I have no power to send the troops you need. You've seen for yourself, the city is a slaughterhouse. Criminals run lawless. I could never hold the throne if I allowed such chaos.
Aren't you causing it? Whatever, man. Maybe I could do something about that.
Jarvia and her Carta are behind this bedlam. If you can eliminate them, I promise as king, I will send as many troops as you need to fight the Darkspawn. Unfortunately, I have little information on Jarvia. Her base of power is in Dust Town, the lowest part of the city, and my men have few sources there. Maybe the castless will talk more freely with a stranger.
Yep, alright.
And I will wait eagerly for your return.
Okay, so that's a long dungeon. I don't think I'll do that in this session. We're in that part of the castle we didn't go to before, by the way, so I'm gonna look for that other pressure plate. I'm not sure if doing the proving is necessary for Balin's task, but I'm pretty sure I can still do it optionally. Get some money, fat loots, stuff like that. So I kind of wasted a lot of time exploring this place already. And I also kind of have to pee, so, you know, maybe I'll just walk over to Dust Town or the Proving Grounds, whichever one it lets me do. Before we're donezo. I think I got stuff done. I didn't bash my head against a wall anywhere for too long. It's refreshing. And we haven't crashed at all yet. Don't jinx it, but glad to see it's working out better. I did update my computer and graphics drivers and whatnot in the meantime. Not that I should really help an old game, but whatever. I just mean to say that I did everything in my power to try and make it smoother.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
And so far it's working out for the better. I mean, this is a pretty dense area. So, good that the ram's not being overloaded or whatever was happening when we were in Denerim. Oh, what the fuck? Hold on, we're... Back it up.
Let's finish this.
Ah, shit. Ah. Ah. Did not expect that. We had an infinite load loop. Music stopped. Oh, alright. Just took a while. Didn't notice she leveled up. Willpower, magic. Mm-hmm. An area. Ooh.
Of course.
I should put these over here since they're like the same functionality. I also just noticed that I've been taking like this perspective a lot, which I think is kind of weird. I feel like if you were trying to do this more like the classic CRPG, you would go all the way zoom out. Like so. Or if you were the console casual, you'd do the over the shoulder all the time. I've been like halfway point. I think that's just I think that's just how I feel about the genre, maybe. You know, I can't get into the older titles, but they're more hard D&D rules. Despite actually playing D&D just a little bit. But I do get into a lot of the more modern ones, like I really enjoyed Pillars of Eternity. And, what's the other one they made? Tyranny? That was pretty good. Ray even. I always love playing on the side of evil, but there is so much choice available to you in that game. You don't even have to be evil. You can join the good guys. You can be an independent. There are lots of different factions of evil you can join. There's like so much choice. It's crazy. And it's got like an organic leveling system, like an Elder Scrolls game too, which I thought was interesting. And it's not like a 100-hour game either, so like the replay value is there if you want to experience those other choices, because you've got like a 20-30 hour campaign opposed to the usual 120.
On it.
It's not like a pricey game either. I think it was like $30 when it came out. So, you know what? That's just a solid recommendation. It's been a while since I played it, so I can't go into detail on things.
Very well.
Victory shall be mine!
Oh, and the Divinity Original Sin games too, of course. I actually played all of the Divinity titles. I think it's weird that it took all the way to Original Sin 2 for the developer to get any recognition, because Divine Divinity is a pretty good game. Divinity 2 is your typical Eurojank, but it's worth a play if you're a fan of the genre. I think it's pretty funny that developers had to put a sticky note pointing to Original Sin 2 on the page for it, because everyone just calls it Divinity 2.
Something on your mind?
Anyways, those are all a great time. A lot of choice in those two. More specifically, like, freedom in gameplay, rather than dialogue choice specifically. Which is something that you'd expect from a D&D title. You know, Baldur's Gate's nice and all, but there's not a lot of ways to approach combat and exploration.
Allow me. I can do that for you.
So in that sense, I'm really proud of what they've done with 3 so far. It seems freaking amazing. It's like the closest anyone's gotten to bring a true tabletop experience to a video game form. I said I wanted to get a little cunning, but I also want to start investing in willpower. Maxed out that, and I don't think I even want any of this, so I'm just gonna leave it for now. There's better stuff I can use it for. There wasn't a pressure play in there. I still haven't found it. I'm gonna do one more check to give up on it. Actually had Divine Divinity on a disc. I think I picked it up at Target. Same place I got my disc for The Witcher. Strange that they just had all these European indie titles over there. Because you wouldn't find them in GameStop or anything. I think it's the same place they picked up Risen as well. Which is a discussion I'm gonna save for a little bit later. I'm currently playing a similar game and I want to like bit of a history thing I need to go through for talking about that. It really like hammer home my appreciation for what it's been so far. Again, we gotta save that for later. Hindsight, or that's not even the right word. GameStop's always had a pretty miserable PC selection. Right, it's always just been like a ton of boxes for Warcraft and the expansions, as if those are different things. You don't need the discs to buy the expansions, you can just buy them digitally after you have one disc.
All be aware that the Grey Wardens have aligned with Lord Balin.
Sad, because that's like the game store. I should go there for my PC games, but no. Never have. Always had to like go to Best Buy or some other store that doesn't necessarily sell games as a regular thing.
News of the hour. Lord Balin proven to be working with...
Now discs are obsolete, so I don't even know what I'm doing with all those things. And we just have a short walk ahead of us. Either gonna go to Dust Town, save and end it there, or if they let me enter the Proving, I'll save before I do that. I really gotta pee though.
Aha, you're back. Did you wish to fight in the Proving today?
Cool.
You've got a...
Sounds like I can. So we're gonna save before doing that. Now we're... Prove me wrong! Not a quote, but I'm sure it is a quote. Right, I think we made progress today. Maybe a little less than I thought we would, because, kind of walked around this town for no reason, doing nothing. But, you know, we talked about stuff, and we did some stuff, and we didn't get stuck anywhere for half an hour like other sessions. So I feel good about all of that. And, you know, hopefully I break this shitty habit of taking naps and, get back to this within a reasonable time frame. And, I'll see y'all then.